Hello, if we haven't met before, my name is Ethan. I'm a full-time eBay reseller. I mostly do men's clothing. I just like to get on here and show you guys what I've been selling so that you can look forward and sell it too. If this is your first time coming across my channel, thank you, and I hope you enjoy the video. This first video is free, don't worry about it. But if you've been here before, I ask that you please scroll down just a little bit. Please hit the subscribe button. I'm getting close to 2,000, so why not hit the milestone, right? Anyways, enjoy the video. So this week we're actually going to look at a full month. We're doing February 10th through March 9th. I'm going to start you off with a super good item here. This is a $400 sale I made for a pair of boots. This brand is called Lucchese, very high-end brand. This is the logo we're looking for. Now, looking these up is a little bit tricky, so what you want to do, we're going to look inside the boot here. There's two different L numbers here. So we have the one that has 6 digits and the one with 4 digits. The tricky part is we want to look up the one with 6 digits, but we're going to leave off the last 2 digits. If I remember right, the first 4 numbers is the style, and then the last 2 is for like the shape of the toe, and then something else. I don't remember. Okay, I forgot to mention for the Lucchese boots, the value primarily comes from the type of leather that was used. In this case, it was like caiman belly, I think. Yeah, it was caiman belly skin leather. That's why my boots were a little bit more valuable. You might be thinking, hey, everybody knows Lucchese. Apparently not. These were sitting in my Goodwill for about 2 hours while I was looking at clothes, and then I made my way up to the registers. These were still sitting there. No one had grabbed them, so I went ahead and took them home myself. One of my prouder sales from this time period is this vintage Gramiti shirt, because this is a very basic shirt, right? Let me show you here. It's just like I think it's a thermal shirt. They called it like a popcorn something. Popcorn v-neck. I think this is just their own special version of a thermal shirt, like a waffle knit thermal shirt. But this was new with tags. So being vintage new with tags, I think it kind of takes this to more of like the like a collector's item type thing. Super cool tag, and it's got the old REI tag on there too. This was only $5 at my Goodwill. They obviously didn't know what this was, so yeah, I went ahead and got it for $5. Let me show you the jersey I got on today. This is my vintage Dallas Stars Pierre Turgeon jersey. Hate the Stars, but this guy used to play in the Blues, so that makes it okay. I got this at a Red Racks back when I was in college for like $14. Still to this day, this is probably my favorite thrift find. I'm gonna breeze through like these $30 orders real quick. I'll start getting a little bit more into it once we hit like $40. So I'm gonna start down here with this Quince. This is they called this the knit blazer. I usually call these sweater blazers. They're also good in Banana Republic and J. Crew. I use the term good kind of loosely here. So this is what the tag looks like. They do a lot of sweaters and knitwear, things like that. A lot of their stuff will be made with something like wool or cashmere, so it is very prone to shrinking. Please be careful when you're buying this brand. More often than not, it is shrunk to some degree. So, but sometimes they do have this nice tag down here that just tells you what this is. So that was good. Sold for $30. I think I paid $7 for that. I don't remember if I said this in the intro or not. Just let me reiterate it. You should never blindly listen to what YouTubers are telling you. That includes me. Make sure when I say stuff, you are double checking it before you like make a purchase based on what I say, things like that. We're all humans, and I'm kind of dumb. So this is an item I probably would not buy again, but they were only $5, so I took the risk. Some Page pants, not a great style here. Funky color. I don't know. I had these forever. You can see the SKU number is 504. I think I'm currently on like 3,800, something like that. So, Howler Bros, I won't go too crazy on this, but here's what the outer tag looks like. There you go. Usually decent stuff. I'd look into it. Birkenstocks, meh. I don't do shoes anymore. I got this at the bins. I sold this cheaper because it was a little messed up, but these Aeropostale like full zip hoodies with the big fur lined hoods, pretty good. Also look for Abercrombie and Fitch Adirondack jackets. That's where the entire thing is like fur or Sherpa lined. So I'm cooling down on Public Rec. Honestly, usually doesn't sell too great. It's like 25 to 30 for me most times. This was super cool. This was just kind of a style item. Vintage motocross, vintage paintball jerseys. They do so good for me. So Gotta be like cool vintage ones though. Like modern stuff doesn't really do anything. Collars & Co. If you didn't know about this brand, here you go. It looks bad, it feels bad, but it sells good. So I would just make sure you check it, like check the comps every time you find it, because who knows? With brands like these, once people figure out about it, the resale market falls out. So like when it's not backed by like good quality stuff like that. So Fred Perry, this is a brand I like, and my Goodwills don't seem to know about, so I keep getting it for like $5. So very nice. Bird Dogs, my Plato's Closets and Uptown Cheapskates don't really know what this brand is. They usually will label it as Boom for the brand, so usually I get these on the cheaper side, so that's nice. This is a brand to be on the lookout for. You'll probably look it up if you find it, I feel like. Especially if it has this Made in USA tag, I'm sure you probably would. But I found other items that don't have that tag. So, decent brand. This one sold fast. I paid $5 for this flannel shirt, sold for $30. Alright, Grayson. This is a golf brand. The polos are not all good. This one was only good because it had this funky pattern on it. This is meant to look like a Christmas sweater. So what I find is if it has this wolf head logo like printed all over it, that makes it good. I sold a polo with just that, the wolf head printed all over the place, sold for $40. So this one sells for $34. Express jeans, that's kind of odd, isn't it? You ever seen someone sell Express jeans? Only got these because they're new tag, so that's the reason they sold for, what was it, $33. I think those were $9. Roark, this is a good item to be on the lookout for. It doesn't feel like a whole lot, but so this thin perforated shirt here, I always include this picture where I hold it up to the light so you can tell how like thin it is. It's called the Bless Up shirt, and they sell very quick for me. So this one sold for $37. Not bad, not bad. This was super cool. This Undertaker WWE shirt. I think this is from like 2007. Yeah, that's what the copyright says anyways. I know that doesn't exactly mean when it's from, but these eyes here, they were glow in the dark. I don't think I included a picture, but I do have a little like black light, so I double checked and it does glow in the dark. Vintage Adidas. I don't pick up a lot of vintage Adidas like windbreakers and stuff, but this logo is called the Trefoil logo. Usually does good for me. I always make sure to put that in my titles if that logo is on there. So that sold for $35. I had it forever, so I don't even remember how much I paid for it. Alright, we're starting to get up here to the $40 range. Mavi jeans I do not pick up in used condition. I only bought these because they were new. So those sold for $38. Got them into Plato's. They were probably like, I think they were tagged at 20 and they were 25% off, if I remember right. So 15 into 38. Lululemon. So this one sold for $40, and that is because there's the engineered warmth long sleeve. This engineered warmth line has merino wool in it, so that's why it sells for a little bit more. So yeah, the hoodies are also good. I think I sold a hoodie for $60 or $80. Not super sure. Viore shorts new with tags. You guys are gonna buy that, right? I hope so. Got some Nike track pants. So these are cool because they're a good like brown color. Anything Y2K in a nice like light brown, love to find that. And then it's got this little cargo pocket on the front of the leg. Like that is so unique. So anytime I find an item, like a lower tier item, and it has a unique feature, I try to highlight that very early on in the listing. So those sold for $36. Patagonia Houdini jacket. This is a women's size small, so this one didn't sell for a whole lot, but I've sold men's Houdini jackets for $75 before. So this one sold for $40. I got it for $15 at Savers. Also got this from Savers, Dropkick Murphy's shirt. I've been doing a lot of like band merch recently, so as long as it's like officially licensed stuff, seems to do decent. Obviously it depends on the group, but this one had decent comps, so sold for $37.88. Some more shoes. Not messing with shoes a whole lot. This brand, I Could not really find much of anything about this. I kind of just guessed with 37.88 and someone bought it. So Tiki's is the brand. I noticed they had the boutique sizing with just this number here, size 2. It's like, that's interesting. Let me check it out. So everything worked out. It's 37 bucks. Okay, so Grayson, I just talked about how the polos are not great, but with most golf brands, same thing for like Peter Millar, the polos can be bad, but that doesn't mean the outerwear is going to be bad. Usually the outerwear is going to be way better than polos. So this sold for 40 bucks and it had a company logo on it. So this Rowing Blazers sweater. Okay, so this is obviously like a cool cable knit, like the varsity tennis sweater. New at tags. This is not a vintage one. This is modern. It's a collab with Target, and apparently it was sold out. So I listed this for 60. Took an offer of 40. Paid 13 bucks at a Goodwill. So I think I was trying to do research on something. I think I saw Rowing Blazers did a collab with some other good brand. So this might be a good brand to like kind of keep in your brain. Yeah. Polo Ralph Lauren bi-swing jacket. This is a really good item. I love when I find these. The problem is Goodwill usually has them priced at like 16 bucks. Very surprising to me, this Eileen Fisher. This is like a stretchy denim trucker jacket. Sold for $37.88. Got this at a Plato's. No clue how much I paid. Sometimes I just don't remember. Good brand here. I haven't found this brand in a long time. I thought it was just over with. Western Rise. This is the diversion pant, as you can see. I think the best model is like the AT technical pant or something. I don't remember. It's been so long since I found this, but every time I found this brand, it is sold for a decent amount and sold fast. So $37.88, and that's on a 27-inch inseam too. So not a very good size at all. Got some vintage Gap. I love when I can show you guys some vintage Gap stuff because I always talk about how much I love it, and don't get to show it off a whole bunch, but I kind of do vintage Gap like style based, you know. Like I thought this was really cool looking. It's got that grungy, like the military vibe to it. Real rugged. It's got the elbow pads. It's a full zip, so super cool. Someone else thought it was cool too. They paid $37.88. Good item here. Everlast is a sneaky good like Y2K brand. I say sneaky. I don't know if it's really sneaky or if it's just they don't have a lot of items that are good, but like the cool items are pretty cool. Like I think this is just a cool logo, I guess. I don't know. So this sold for 45 bucks. I did get a lot of lowball offers on this. Just held strong. Didn't accept any. Someone eventually came through and paid a good price. Got a Marmot jacket. I don't pick up a lot of Marmot. Just got this because it was new at tags. Usually the only other time I'm going to buy Marmot is if it's a downfilled item. So, Ed Hardy pants. Hopefully you guys would look this up if you found it. Ed Hardy is a great brand right now with the Y2K boom. Got a nice big booty spell out on here. So, this did get girlfriend tax for a little bit, but I got it back pretty quick. So that was nice. All right. This is so basic. I don't know why this is worth 42 bucks. So I think it's honestly the distressing on this hoodie that made it so good. So like you can see they cut a V-neck into the collar or whatever. There's like paint on it. I think the sleeves are a little messed up. Like just slight fraying on the cuffs. Nothing crazy. But also the light gray is a really good color for this stuff. So that sold for $42. So nice. Some Polo Ralph Lauren sweatpants sold for $42. These don't feel like they should be worth that much, but I don't know. Someone thought they were. A vintage Nike Town. I hope you guys look this up if you find it. This is probably like my favorite tag to find ever. So if you find any like Made in USA vintage Nike basics, there's usually going to be some value there. I've sold blank Nike sweatpants, or have I don't know. I have some in my collection. Maybe I'm getting my wires crossed there. But I know that I've sold just the blank like Nike sweat shorts that are made in USA. I've sold those for as much as 45 bucks. So I'm always looking for that Made in USA Nike white tag. Under Armour, these are some rain pants. You'd use them for golf most likely. Anytime I'm flipping through like a pants rack and I see this, like the lines pattern on the inside here, I'm taking a deeper look because usually that means it's a waterproof lining. So $42 on those. I will say, I comped these out before I bought them, and I did not like the comps I was seeing. I just kind of had to trust my gut, and these did end up selling for a little more, $42.88. Eddie Bauer downfill jacket. So I'm always looking at the sleeves. When I see these big bubbles on the jacket, I just go to the sleeve, see if it's got a fill power written on it. So, and then this one also in the pocket, if you can see here, that zipper says packable. So that's a good keyword. You can put it in your title. You got Vuori Sunday Performance Pants. So I love Vuori because usually this tag is still there and it has the style code. So even if like the size tag is pulled out of the waist, you can still figure out what's going on. More vintage Gap. This is what I usually like to find with Gap is these anorak jackets. That's just where you have that big pocket on the front where you can like get into the pocket from the top instead of just the sides. So yeah, sold for $42. This one sold to some fancy like clothing website. I'm going to show you real quick. I just want to show you their prices. I've been checking the website to see if they put this Gap jacket on there. They have not yet. Super cool. It's like, look at this. Military jacket, $275, $275, $350, $375, $275, $195. So I've been trying to find my jacket on there because I want to see how much they listed for, but nothing's happened yet. So these Carhartt, the Shackets, super hit or miss for me. Every time I find them, I just go into this tag and I look up the style code here. Oh shoot! I just realized I listed this as a 2XL. When did this sell? I got positive feedback. I guess they were paying attention. Wow, I feel silly. This always happens. I'm better at paying attention to my titles when I'm making videos than when I'm listing. I don't know why. Vertex. This is a brand I used to really like, but it seems like it's fallen off fairly hard. This was new with tags, and I still only sold it for $45. I think this retailed for like $130 or something, but it was on sale when I found this item. So, but it was also sold out in my size though. Got some silver tabs. I'm only buying silver tabs if they are like a wide leg or baggy fit, and these are like some modern ones too. These are not the best ones you can find. So, yeah, I'm basically buying those based on style. So this Rice brand, found this a couple times now, and it seems like it's a pretty good quality brand. I think they sell it at Nordstrom Rack. So high retail prices, but it's gonna make its way out there into the public a little bit. This guy was mean, so mean.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
So weird that he was that upset and then just left it neutral. Yeah, Under Armour, these camo jackets. I'm always looking these up because usually there's some like hunting element to them. So this Under Armour scent control, I don't know. This stuff just does good. $50, and this had some wear on it too. Let's see. This was not a great model of Patagonia. I guess this is the quilted Nano Puff. Yeah, just nothing really of note here. I paid $20 for that. Sold it for $50. That's fine by me. I'll take my $20 profit. This was super cool. I love this hoodie so much. Polo Ralph Lauren, size medium. This is a beacon print, I believe. So sold for $50 pretty quick. Savers had this in the women's section, and it was only priced at $5. I couldn't believe it. So more vintage Gap. This one is new with tags though, so kind of get some bonus points for that. It's got these cool like metal, I don't know what these are called when it's on the drawstring, but yeah, you can see this is not like the best one. This one's a little bit thinner. I like the thicker cotton ones, but you know, since this one was new at tags and is kind of a cool color, I went ahead and picked it up anyways, and eventually sold for 50 bucks. Woolrich, so this is, I wouldn't say this is the only item. I'll say I don't pick up a lot of Woolrich, but one of the items I do like finding are these really thick shaggets. So, let's see, I think this is the model number right here, 6138. So, yeah, I sold that for $55. Polo Ralph Lauren, I look up anything with the polar bear on it, so yeah, sold for 50 bucks. Okay, Abercrombie and Fitch jacket. I called this a military field jacket. I don't know if there's actually a model name for this or not. I couldn't find it, but yeah, sold for $50. Not bad. I got a question on my most recent video about player issue items. So you're mostly going to find that for like professional sports teams items or college items. The college ones are more common since they have more players coming in and out every year. But so this item, this is for the University of North Carolina, the Tar Heels. This is a football jacket. So and it has this sticker on the back, right? These stickers are pretty much always going to be by the size tag. Sometimes you'll just have like the team logo and then like the name. Sometimes you'll have the name and the number. So sometimes you'll just have the number. So there's two different keywords you can put in your title. You can do player issue or team issue. I usually just stick with team issue since that's like a broader term, and they do give out stuff like this to like, I found this for, what was he? It's like a talent scout, like something like that. So these items are not limited to just the players. That's why I do team issue, just to be safe. But in this case where it has the name and the number, I would feel safe using player issue. But I know in this one I ended up just going with team issue anyways. But so that's what you're looking for. And make sure, sometimes I think it's like retirement homes or like assisted living facilities where they'll have like stickers kind of like this that just have someone's full name, like first and last name. And that does not mean that it's a player issue item. So make sure it's got like some sort of logo. It doesn't have like the first and last name. You don't want to sell some random old guy's shirt as a player issue item. Try and find the player on the roster if you can. Great brand here. This is Barber, if you didn't know about it. So I love Barber because they usually have the model name on the tag. So I didn't have to do a whole lot of research for this one. Very nice. $60 sale there. Some Lucchese boots. These ones obviously not as valuable as the ones in the intro. You know, it depends on the leather and the style, of course. So got these for $20 at the same stop I got the other Lucchese boots. So, and these next two items also same stop. So got a vintage Def Leppard shirt. This is only $5. I think Goodwill knew exactly what this was. I think they normally would have put this on their eBay store, but they elected to put it in the store for like the grand reopening thing, just so someone got a good deal. So I appreciate them for that. Awesome front hit, cool back hit too. Really though, if you see this giant tag, probably check it out. There's a lot of really valuable shirts on this vintage giant tag. Got a Nike Tech fleece. Usually, so if I'm flipping through stuff and I see a Nike anything that has like this rubber stuff going around a zipper, I'm just going to go to this tag here, look up the style code, see if it's a Nike Tech line item. So Lululemon, this is a down-filled vest. You can always just go to the style dot and then, wow, this is kind of a blurry picture, but style code is on here. So I do really good with this specific down for it all vest, or you can find the full jacket. But yeah, $70 for that one. Got that at Player's Closet for $25, I believe. I was super proud of this. I think I talked about this in the intro, right? I think I did. Yeah. Aaron Crafts. Be careful with these. A lot of them will shrink up or have a bunch of holes. This one had a couple holes, but still sold. So I really like doing this cover photo now where I like kind of cross the sleeves and I just show the top part of the item. So, and that looks really good with this item since it has like this whatever pattern on the sleeves as well. So, Patagonia. This is a nano puff. Anytime I see like this just rectangle quilting pattern, um, almost always I'm like going straight to that to see if it's a Patagonia nano puff. I paid $40 for this, 42 for being specific. So not a great margin, I know, but I will take my $20 profit because I just know Patagonia nano puff stuff is gonna sell. This is like one of my favorite items to find. So a Polo Ralph Lauren jacket. This is not vintage or anything. This is just a basic modern one. Just happens to be a very nice looking jacket. So I love this, like the crop fit. It's got like the honeycomb fading on the sleeves. This cool zigzag pattern. I don't know what that's called. I tried to figure out what that is called. Couldn't find it. So yeah, $70 on that. I got that at a Uptown Cheapskate. That was probably $25 or $30. Sad I went through this too. Okay, so if you haven't figured it out yet, I messed up the original recording for this video, so I lost the intro that I was talking about there. Basically, this shirt, Sada, the brand is super expensive. A shirt like this would have retailed for like $300-ish. I only looked it up because I've never heard of it and the tag looked nice, so yeah, that's it. Also, so many of you watching your TVs, I just wanted to say I really appreciate that because I get to put goofy pictures like this up on your 80-inch TV in the middle of the living room. And I just love to think about that. It's very funny. I forgot. I recorded this video yesterday and then messed up the recording, so I can't remember everything I went through. Okay, so this is like a fancy jersey. Not all your jerseys are going to go for $80. So the Majestic ones, usually not very good. Some of them still worth picking up. But so this is good because it is a Rawlings Authentic collection. Here's what that inside tag looks like here. The big thing to be looking for, like the biggest indicator if you're just like flipping through a rack, everything on the front of this jersey is stitched. It's like this entire logo is embroidered. And then like these patches are stitched on. So good, dude. Very quality jersey. So if you just looked up Rawlings Authentic Collection, like MLB jersey, and just sort by sold, yeah, why not? That's so cool. 250, 200, 250. Am I sorting by highest? Nope. That's just the most recent ones. That's cool. That one might be game worn though, so let's ignore that. That's cool. 129. A lot of these are vintage I'm seeing. Mine's a little older too. Ankiel hasn't played in a while, so I'll tell you, being a kid in St. Louis, I thought Rick Ankiel was so cool. Like, I missed the first part of his career where he was just a pitcher. So then when he showed up as an outfielder, my dad told me this backstory about how he used to be a pitcher. I thought that was so cool. So, but yeah, as you can see, crazy numbers on these. All right, Arc'teryx. Obviously, most people probably gonna know Arc'teryx is a good brand. Usually, just be careful. I'm sure there's fakes out there. I've never like seen or heard of fake problems myself, but I just assume it's such an expensive brand. There's gonna be fakes somewhere. Rock Revival jeans. I'm really only buying the men's Rock Revival jeans at this point. So, and I do pay up a little bit for these. Pay up, you know. We got these at Plato's. I think they were tagged $30, or I think it was $35, but I had 20% off, so I paid $28 plus tax. So sold for $80. Ralph Lauren. I'm really picky about my blazers, so it's got to be something like this that's gonna sell for $85 or 65 apparently. That's funny. J. Crew. This is a Thompson. It's like a wool blend, I think. Yeah. But this is just a really attractive blazer, and it is unstructured. So that's when you see in the back here, there's no liner in it. So I think they're designed like that to be more like lightweight, breathable. So anytime I see an unstructured blazer, I'm paying a little bit more attention. Vintage Carhartt jacket. I thought that this was going to be a bad one just because I don't think the style is really that great. But I just looked up this JU 106. I could only find one that was listed for like 135. So I listed mine for 110 and it sold very fast. I think it took a couple hours. So that was cool. I paid $20 for that at Savers. Fiore Coronado. So this was new at tags, but selling for 110. I didn't mean to do that. The retail price is 138 and I still got 110. That is nuts. So love Yori. I'm always buying it when I see it. Oh, I think I covered this. I hope so. This was great because it ended up being free. So it's at a Goodwill. Me and my girlfriend were there just for fun, kind of late at night. So this rolled out on the cart, and obviously I don't do toys or anything, but I could, just from far away, I was like, that looks very old. So I see this 1975, and I notice all of the like the Halloween makeup stuff from Imagineering goes for crazy money. So couldn't find this anywhere on anything. So I listed for like 450, I think. 300 or 450. Someone sent me an offer of 250 on the first day, and since it was the first day, I just declined it. But or maybe I countered. I don't know. Regardless, I ended up getting less than 250 in the end, but it was free because like we put all of our stuff on the counter. Lady rings it up. She's like, "All right, your total is about." I was like, "Oh, I don't think you got this over here." And she looked at it, and it was priced at like $2. So she like looks at it. She's, it's like cool. So turn that free item into 225. This is my brother's jacket. I sold it for him. So more Arc'teryx. The waterproof stuff is what you're looking for, really. I don't remember the name of the best ones, but it has beta in it. Beta something. I don't know. Okay, so this is the last item because the boots are the most expensive one. So I was super proud of this because there was no comps for this jacket. I was at Salvation Army. It's kind of having a bad thrift day, and the manager rolls out this rack. It's got this, and then there's like a $100-some Patagonia jacket on it, which I bought that because it's only $20. This was priced at 29. I was like this is a cool jacket, but there's also lots of cool jackets that only sell for like $50. It's like if this is only like a $50 jacket, I'm not trying to pay $29 for it. So I ended up mulling around for a little bit, and the reason I did end up buying it, it's like, okay, so this is the reason I end up buying the jackets, because I noticed that these other flight jackets are selling for like $350, $300. If you find this in black, actually, I think it's the best. Oh my gosh, please put a space, please. My space bar is very sticky. Luna spilled a Dr. Pepper on my laptop like 3 years ago. My laptop is never covered. Anyways, so I'm digging through all these comps, trying to find anything I can. I'm like, if these other like, like military flight themed jackets are selling, and they're like the same color, if those are selling for like 300, I think I'm pretty safe with this jacket. And I think I listed it for like 350 or something. So first day, I'd get a bunch of offers. I get one for 200. This guy messages me. It's like, I'm interested. I was like, cool. Highest offer is currently 200. Once I'm done, I told him I was working. I was really just out thrifting. I was like, once I'm done working for the day, I'll just accept whatever the highest is. So he offered 220, and that was the winner. So super proud to have not left this behind, because it was a little scary getting it at first, but sold very quick. Here's what the tags look like. So I figured out this is called a B10 style. For some reason, it didn't occur to me in store to like try Google Lensing it. At least I don't think. But at some point, I was like, oh, I should just figure out what style this is called. So I Google Lensed it, and just I was like, okay, this is the B10 style. So, anyways, appreciate you guys for bearing with me watching. Thank you so much. Oh, do I need to show you something else? I want to show you this jersey too. Here we go. A Shanahan jersey from the Red Wings. He also played for the Blues if you don't watch hockey, so Okay, bye.